Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Moving on to the next and the last stage is adolescence. Most of you people would be in this stage of adolescence. This begins at puberty and ends with the assumption of adult roles. So there's no fixed stage, no fixed age group for this. This just begins at the stage wherein you feel that okay, I am ready to take those adult roles. I am apt, I am ready to accept those adult roles and perform my adult duties. Puberty brings about several biological and psychological changes in the individual. Definitely in the Oedipal stage, there's a lot that is going on in the psychology and there's a lot that is going on in the biological sphere of the child as well. And to manage both of those or to balance both of those becomes a tedious task or becomes a complex task for a child as well. So to handle at times, the child just wants to be independent of the parental control. You know, in the Oedipal stage, when you are a lot of times being told to do this, not to do that, to be accepted, you know, what all roles and regulations do you have, what all roles do you have to perform, what are your duties, all of those things, because of all of those things, the child at times get rebellious and wants to be free from all the parental control, want to be independent of all the parental control. Boys and girls begin to show interest in persons of opposite sex. The individuals also learn the role he or she will have to play in the adult life and internalizes the norms related to those roles. Because you have been told those a lot of times, because you have been tried and trained in that particular way in the Oedipal stage, that you tend to internalize all the norms, all the roles, all the rules, the regulations that are needed in the society to be accepted, that are needed, that you're not said, oh, you're not really performing as per your sex, or you're not really reacting, or you're not in a way behaving as per your sex. So all of these norms and regulation gets internalized within the child in this stage. They learn to play the role of parents, workers and citizens, and that is what it involves being adult. You do learn to play the roles that your parents are playing, that the workers are playing, that the citizens are playing. You understand what exactly is your role separately as a parent, separately as a worker, separately as a citizen. That is a time when all of you majorly 18 plus are allowed to vote and become the active citizens of the country. Active citizens wherein you are given the right to vote, wherein you are felt that you are capable enough to take the decision of who should be in power to make the nation a better place to be in. Workers in a way, because a lot of you start working, or rather some of these people start working particularly in this stage, and they tend to have this understanding of what are requirements of being the workers and how do they have to react to it. So they learn to play the role of parents and workers and the citizens. Being adult. Now when we talk about being adult, it is that understanding, it is that you get that understanding, you get those responsibilities, you get the understanding of those roles of being parents, of being workers and being citizens individually. This is around the age of 18 plus, wherein you are given the status of being active citizens. Active citizens means that you are being given the right to vote. You are taken as individuals who are able to take the right decision for the nation. You are considered to be that knowledgeable to be able to take the right decision. Parents, because you understand that meaning of affection, care, love, that whole, the whole responsibility, the knowledge that you tend to have when you are when you are getting over of that stage of adolescence. Workers, because that is at times a stage where some of you start working. And what are the roles and the responsibilities of the workers? What are the understanding of being workers? What are the duties? All of these things being together are being performed, and that is what makes you an adult. Moving ahead, they say that adulthood means the ability to support oneself and to live independently of the parental family. Till now, you have been staying with the parents, you have been staying under the supervision of the parents. Adulthood means you have that ability to support your own self, be it socially, be it personally, be it financially, be it cognitively. All of these aspects are there, and you are able to support your own self. It also means the ability to establish a family of one's own. So you also are to be in that stage where you are able to establish a family of your own. It is generally said that the process of socialization comes to an end when a person reaches adulthood. They say generally that the process comes to an end when the person reaches adulthood, but socialization is a lifelong process that we talked about before. There are new roles, new responsibilities every time popping up, which makes you realize that need of acquiring some of the social traits, some of the cultural traits, to be able to make yourself comfortable in the society. So this process of learning required of an adult is known as adult socialization. So post being an adult as well, if you need certain help in the process of socialization, that is known as adult socialization. The changes are rapid, that requires a person to adjust himself constantly to the new demands and the responsibilities. We see every time you have some or the other rapid changes in the society. To be able to cope up with all those rapid changes and those responsibilities, those demands, is something that is required in an individual's life, and that is the need of the adult socialization. Because of all of these rapid changes, you need this adult socialization. Now, we have talked about all the processes, all the stages of socialization. We have talked about in the process that yes, parents, mothers are involved, mothers majorly, and self are involved in the process of socialization. But is it just the mother or the parents or the family or one own self who is there in the process? Well, let's figure out what all are the agents of socialization. Before figuring out who all are the agents of socialization, let's understand what are the agents of socialization. So there are many individuals and groups that are involved in the socialization of an individual. And all of those individuals and groups are known as the agents or agencies of socialization. Here in the picture, you have one of these person who is there, who is to be socialized, who is a newborn person and needs newborn in the way, not a child, but new person in the society and needs socialization. You have all these individuals and the groups out there to help the child socialize. And all of these are known as the agents of socialization. Now, what all will be the agents of socialization? First and foremost, very, very significant agent is family. The socialization process begins in the family. The child, when it's an infant, is exposed the most to the family. And out of the family also, it is the parents who play the major role and the role of utmost importance when they introduce the child to the culture of the society. When they introduce the child to the norms and the values around them, to the responsibilities and the environment around them. All other members do have a role as well. It is not just the parents, but you have the other members as well who have the role, but the utmost importance is of the parental role. The second comes in the list is the peer group. Your friends, the ones you stay with, the ones who are of the similar age group. So the child learns many things from the playmates and the friends. Often, peer group culture and peer group pressure influences the life and the behavior of the individual. My friend has a bag which has a Barbie on it. I also need the same bag. Well, my friend has a Doraemon lunchbox. I need the same one. This is what is the peer group culture and the peer group influence or the pressure that is being talked about. How you get influenced seeing what the people of your age group are doing. Well, my friend has got a personal mobile phone. I also need one for myself. That is how your peer groups are influential and plays a very important role in the process of socialization. My friend has read all the parts of Harry Potter. I also want to read that. This is what the positive influence is. Well, my friend was fighting with the other person and was able to get away with it without being scolded. I can also do that. That is the negative influence of it. So peer pressure obviously has both negative and positive influences. It's there with all of the agents of socialization. All of the agents of socialization do have the negative and the positive aspects. It is in what environment, it is to what culture is the child growing and is what acquiring in its process of socialization. The next aspect or the next agent of socialization is the school or the institution. A very, very, very important agent of socialization again. It provides the learning situations and the environment like your schools does to you. Makes it easier to impart discipline to the individual and inculcate in him the qualities to develop his personality. As a child, when you're there in the school, you have some rules, you have some learning paths. You have a way of behaving. You know that there are certain things that you will be rewarded for and there are certain things you will be punished for. All of these together become a part of your discipline. And this school or the institution plays a very major role in developing the personality of the child by inculcating certain qualities and by disciplining the individual. It enables him to discover his own needs and those of a group to which it belongs to. When the child is alone in the school, no doubt the teacher is there, the peer group is there to help, but the child knows that my parents are not there, on which generally the people rely upon. So the child discovers his own needs. The child understands and makes that pact and makes that knowledge and adjustments to be able to relate or to be able to belong to that one group. Disciplines himself in accordance with the norms set by the school and the institution. Education is a great vehicle of change in and the development of the human behavior. So how do you want to see the change in the human behavior? What all changes are required? What all changes are to be done, to be accepted, to be done, to be a part of the bigger whole is what is done through the term or through the process of education. All those moral value stories that you might go back to, all those ideas of punishments and rewards that you may go back to, all of those were done in the process of education and were a great driving force for the child's change and development. It gives moral, intellectual, and social continuity to the individual, links the child to the heritage, and sets a perspective before him. So you basically understand what are the needs, you basically understand how as an individual am I supposed to link to the other things, and you grow individually, you grow morally, intellectually and socially. The norms rooted in the institution provide standards of behavior. You have a set standard of the minimal behavior that is required from you. Violation of those norms may lead to social ridicule, boycott, and even more severe punishments. Move out of my class, you are not allowed to attend my class. That is a kind of punishment that would give the child a very, very major impact, because that is the seclusion that the child is asked to do because of some of the mischief or because of some of the incorrect action that he must have done. However, all of these psychological punishments are now not at all permitted, because that leaves a very major psychological impact on the child. But that is how the child is learning to follow those standards of behavior and helping in the development of self. Then they say institutions govern the relationship between individuals and groups. Conditions are social action, discipline and control the individual behavior. You have to perform this task in a group. So you have to adjust to the group dynamics. You have to adjust with the understanding of your peer. You have to adjust and accommodate and accept the values, the ideas of the others as well. And hence it is governing the relationship between individuals and groups. Discipline and control the individual behavior, like we talked about in terms of rewards and punishments, in terms of your daily pacts or your learning pacts. All of those things which are there are done to control the individual behavior. The next agent of socialization obviously is the society. All our actions and behaviors are governed by different rules and regulations. No one can act independently with complete disregard to the society. Even if you wish to wear certain thing, even if you wish to wear certain attire, you will be trained, or you will be keeping in mind of how the society would react to it, because the culture of one society is very different from the other. So how your society, or rather the society that you're stepping out, would react to it makes it a very valid statement that your actions can not go completely disregard of to the society. You will have to be dependent on the society for taking certain decisions, for taking certain actions in your life. The action and the behavior should be in accordance to the traditions, customs and other rules and regulations prescribed by the society. Else again, there is the rewards and the punishment system which is there in our society. So whatever my behavior is, whatever my action is, should be in accordance to the traditions, the cultures and the norms or rules and regulations which are being set up by the society. So herein society plays a very important role as the agent of socialization. The next come as one's religious groups. A child learns religious values and ideas from the religious groups. The religious values and ideas have lasting influence even in the later part of your life. What religious values do you have, or what religious ideas do you have? Maybe with respect to the workers, maybe with respect to your peer, your friends, the people from the opposite gender. All of those things play a very, very important role in the later part of your life as well, and stays with you. It is something, the religious values and ideas are some things. Again, there might be alterations because of you growing up and because of you experiencing the process of socialization, and because of varied ideas you are exposed to, varied ideologies you are exposed to. But the basics of the religious values and ideas which are there have a very long lasting influence on an individual. The last agent of socialization we would talk about is mass media and literature. I have seen the advertisement of Kinder Joy, and it has a tiny toy which I do not even know if I would be using or will be of any use. But I still want it. That is what mass media does to us. I have read a very amazing literature. I have read a very amazing book, and it talks about the liberty that women should have in their life, and I want to take that liberty and do whatever that I want to do. That is what literature can do to influence you as an agent of socialization. So all the influences by the books and the literature comes under this category. Influences by films, radio, TV and newspapers comes into a category of mass media. I saw an advertisement in the newspaper about some health drink, and I want to try it because it says that your height would be increasing at a much faster pace, and I am very much influenced by it. So I want to try that. And that is how what is shaping my ideas and my thinking about certain things, and hence comes as as an agent of socialization. The role of mass media in shaping the ideas of people and forming public opinion is very great. We hear news channels. We hear people from 10 different countries talking about one topic, let's say poverty, and we feel, oh my God, this is a perspective that I've never thought about. This is a vision that I've never thought from. All of these things have again the positive influence that gives you an understanding or a vision of the global sphere, of the vision of an understanding of what the other persons are thinking, and you may analyze it and make it a part of your ideas and your understanding as well, and form a public opinion about it. So these are the aspects of the agents of socialization, and with this we come to an end of the topic of socialization.